Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, so get this. Did you know that an exotic bird can literally deplete a massive percentage of its own skeletal calcium just to lay a single clutch of eggs? I mean, it's wild, but that's exactly why I'm so absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We're going to dive deep into a topic that really requires both profound empathy and precise science. We're talking about the highly specialized and honestly, kind of misunderstood health needs of our exotic pets. If you're a breeder, a vet, or just a super dedicated caretaker of these incredible creatures, you already know that keeping them healthy requires way more than just standard care. It takes highly targeted nutritional science. So let's just get right into it.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the Exotic Pet Challenge, move right into the CALCIVEX-EX solution and its formulation, then take a look at the MBS NutriScience standard, and finally, we'll wrap up with how all of this impacts the bigger picture.
All right, Section 1, the Exotic Pet Challenge. Let's really unpack these silent threats.
Just take a look at these stunning 3D animations of these exotic animals. I mean, look at that vibrant macaw, the textured iguana, the sturdy tortoise, and those delicate small mammals. As totally captivating as they are on the outside, beneath those feathers and scales lies a really dangerous susceptibility. See, because they're prey animals, they mask illness incredibly well. So these animals possess a highly specific, very unique biological reality that makes them incredibly prone to hidden nutritional deficiencies. And this brings us right to the silent threats. Because these fragile guys instinctively hide their weakness, foundational risks like a critical calcium or phosphorus deficiency can go totally unnoticed until it's just too late. And without these essential building blocks, we start seeing some really heartbreaking outcomes. We're talking weak bones, the onset of rickets, and just generally poor overall growth and development. And listen, these aren't just minor hiccups, right? For an exotic breed, a compromised skeletal system is a massive structural failure that affects literally every single aspect of their vitality.
So the absolutely crucial question we have to ask is this. If their baseline is already so incredibly fragile, what happens to these bodies during high-stress periods? I want you to think about the immense physiological toll of breeding, laying eggs, or trying to bounce back from a surgical procedure. How on earth do they cope when their internal reserves are totally depleted?
Well, the answer, unfortunately, is that they often don't cope well at all. Without proper nutritional intervention, the clinical risks just absolutely skyrocket. We see egg-laying birds suffering from soft or super thin eggshells, and worse, this can lead to life-threatening egg binding, which is a terrifying high-stakes emergency. No one wants to deal with that. We also see frequent bone fractures in small mammals and reptiles, and dangerously delayed post-operative recoveries. Basically, these bodies are literally breaking down because they just do not have the structural minerals to endure the stress.
But fortunately, there is a scientifically crafted answer. Section 2, the CALCIVEX-EX solution, providing the targeted care they desperately need.
This right here is the ultimate scientific intervention. Meet CALCIVEX-EX. Now, this isn't just some generic off-the-shelf supplement. This is a highly advanced bone and shell support formula designed explicitly for the unique and super demanding physiology of exotic animals, birds, and reptiles. It is basically formulated to step in exactly where their natural diet falls short.
And the difference in care is literally night and day. On one side, deficient care leads to weak bones, thin shells, poor vitality, and that terrifying high fracture risk we talked about. But with CALCIVEX-EX support, the whole paradigm shifts. You get a robust skeleton, perfectly healthy shell formation, vibrant growth, and the ability to recover swiftly from stress and surgery. Honestly, it's the difference between an animal merely surviving and an animal truly thriving.
So how does it actually pull this off? Well, the core clinical benefits are extremely targeted. First up, it provides highly bioavailable calcium and phosphorus in the exact ratio these specific animals crave. This directly supports strong bones, and just as importantly, healthy beaks and claws. For breeders, this is an absolute game changer because it actively promotes healthy eggshell formation, which prevents that scary egg binding we discussed earlier. It is fundamentally essential for fast-growing and actively breeding animals.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How does this actually work on a cellular level? Let's zoom in a bit. Section 3. Inside the formulation. Okay, so this isn't just a random mix of minerals thrown into a bottle. It's more like a perfectly harmonized symphony. Calcium and phosphorus, those are your foundational building blocks. But look at that second row, vitamin D3. This is the magic catalyst that forces the body to rapidly absorb and mineralize those building blocks. Then you have magnesium and zinc stepping in to support muscle contraction and overall mobility. And finally, vitamin C and K3, they act like the ultimate cleanup crew, promoting rapid tissue recovery and boosting overall immunity. They literally all work together in perfect synergy.
Which brings us to one of my absolute favorite scientific concepts, bioavailability. You know, you can feed an iguana or a macaw all the raw calcium in the world, but if their body can't absorb it, it's totally useless. Bioavailability is just the degree and rate at which a substance is actually absorbed into the living system. CALCIVEX-EX relies super heavily on vitamin D3 to ensure that the minerals aren't just consumed, but are actually driven deep into the bones and shells where they are so desperately needed.
And the best part, despite being this incredibly potent clinical formula, actually administering it is wonderfully simple. Like, for birds, it's just 1 to 2 milliliters per liter of their drinking water. Super easy. For reptiles and tortoises, 1 to 2 milliliters right in their water or food. And for small mammals and ferrets, a tiny 0.5 to 1 milliliter dose does the trick. It's this seamless integration into their daily routine, which basically removes all the friction for caretakers and breeders.
Okay, so with the science established, let's look at the authority behind all of this in Section 4, the MBS NutriScience standard.
When we deal with fragile exotics, trust is literally everything. Looking at the detailed label and brochure for CALCIVEX-EX, you can see it is brought to us by MBS NutriScience, and this is a brand identity rooted entirely in premium quality and specialized care. They aren't out here making generic livestock feed. They are formulating advanced, incredibly precise elixirs for highly sensitive species.
And the proof is really in the rigorous manufacturing pedigree. We're talking GMP, ISO, kosher, and FSAI certified, utilizing natural ingredients. For a veterinarian or a top-tier breeder, this is pure peace of mind. It proves, without a doubt, that the product meets the absolute highest safety and quality standards on the globe.
Ultimately, it just boils down to this single, vital promise: premium quality assured for exotic care. Because when you are dealing with a life-threatening scenario like egg binding or a post-operative recovery, you need a nutritional tool that you can implicitly trust every single time you dispense it.
Now, let's zoom out for a second and look at the broader impact. Section 5, Healing with Science. So, the MBS NutriScience motto is feeding the future, healing with science. And I just love that, because they aren't just treating a calcium deficiency here. They are actively using science to heal and protect life on a larger scale.
By scientifically ensuring the health of the exotic animals we steward, we actually engage in responsible, sustainable caretaking that balances our natural world. Advanced nutritional science doesn't just fix a weak shell, it directly contributes to a healthier, much more sustainable future for absolutely all of us. It's all connected.
Which really leaves us with this final, vital question. As caretakers, breeders, and lovers of these incredible exotic species, how will you use science to protect their future? Understanding their hidden needs is the first step, right? But taking scientifically backed action is the next. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you on the next one.